Hi children, I welcome you for the Soci class. In last class, we discussed about the lesson Emergence of New Kingdoms in North India. And the topic is Chauhan's dynasty, Paula's dynasty. So this lesson, we are going to discuss about contribution of Rajputs to architecture. So how Rajputs supported to architecture. So the Rajputs were great builders. So first of all, you should know the meaning of art and architecture. So last class we have discussed about Rajput's contribution of art. So this class we are going to discuss about architecture. So art means the drawing is called as art. Architecture means the building. For example, Taj Mahal, Tanjai Period Temple. So this is all example for architecture. Okay, so this class we are going to discuss about contribution of Rajputs to architecture. So Rajputs were great builders. So builders means they are good example for architecture. And some of the important examples of Rajput buildings are very strong fortress. So example for Rajput buildings are Chittagong, Anandpur and Kumbhalgarh. So this are located in Rajasthan. So Chittagong, Anandpur and Kumbhalgarh. These are located in Rajasthan. So this is some example for Rajput buildings. And the example of domestic architecture of the Rajputs are palaces. So what is called domestic? So domestic means the residency is called as domestic. So palaces is example for domestic. So fort means for production they are building the fort. So fort is different, palace is different. So the examples of domestic means residency. So the examples of domestic architecture of the Rajputs or palaces of Mansingh at Gwalior. So these are example for architecture, Rajput architecture. So the palaces are Mansingh at Gwalior. So Gwalior is the place, Mansingh is the palace name. Okay. So Mansingh at Gwalior, the building at Amber, Jaipur is located in Jaipur, and Lake Palaces at Udaipur. Okay, so first word is palace name, second one is place name. Okay, so Lake Palaces at Udaipur. So this is all example for domestic architecture of Rajputs. So many of the Rajput cities and palaces stand among the hills in fort or by the side of beautiful artificial lakes. So most of the Rajput architecture are located in which place? Hill place. It is located in Hill place and artificial lake, not natural lake, artificial lake. So most of the architecture are located in hill place and artificial. See the picture, Khajuraho temple, temple at Vasayan. These are all good example for Rajput architecture. The temples in Khajuraho, the sun temples in Konark, the Dilwara Jain temple constructed in Mount Abu. So Mount Abu means rocks. So Dilwara Jain temple is constructed in Mount Abu and Kandariya temple is located in Madhya Pradesh. So these are all good example for Rajput architecture. And the Khajuraho in Bandhalkhand has 30 temples. So Khajuraho is a temple and Bandhalkhand is the place. For example, in our Konganadu institutions, inside the campus have Konganadu Metric Higher Secondary School, Konganadu CBSE School and B.Ed College. So same, this Khajuraho campus has 30 temples. And this Khajuraho temple Sigaras is one of the most beautiful. And the exterior and interior part of the temple are adorned with very fine sculptures. So this Khajuraho temple exterior and interior. So exterior means inside and outside. Okay, both inside and outside, both part also it is very beautiful and it is adorned with fine sculptures, good sculpture. What is called sculpture? Means if you are going to temple means you can see the any sculpture like God Vinayaga or Murugan. So like that is called as sculptures. So both inside and outside, exterior and interior. So both side also it is adorned with good sculpture. These temples are dedicated to Jain Tirthankaras and Hindu deities like Shiva and Vishnu. So this Khajuraho temple is dedicated to Jain Tirthankaras and Hindu deities. Deities means God. So Hindu God like Shiva and Vishnu. So there are 16 Hindu and Jain temples at Vasayan. So before we saw the picture, Vasayan temple. So in the Vasayan temple, there are 16 Hindu and Jain temples, which is 32 miles away from Jodhpur. Where it is located, Vasayan temple means from Jodhpur, 32 mile. Okay, and the Jain temple at Mount Abu. So Mount means rocks. So Jain temple at Mount Abu has a white marble hall. So in the front of the Jain temple, it is constructed white marble hall. Next we are going to see about the Raksha Bandhan. So already may know the meaning of Raksha Bandhan. So when we are celebrating the Raksha Bandhan means every year August month full moon, in that time we are celebrating the Raksha Bandhan. So this year we are going to celebrate Monday 3 August 2020. So the Raksha Bandhan means Rakhi. So it is the tradition of Rajput. So Raksha means protection and Bandhan means tie. It's a festival to celebrate the brotherhood and expressing our love. And it is believed that if a woman ties a Rakhi, so woman tie a Rakhi around the wrist of male member, it means they are treating them like brothers. Okay, so if any woman tie a Rakhi the wrist of male means such a person is the obligation to protect the female. Okay, so this is the function we are celebrating the Raksha Bandhan. So Rabindranath Tagore started a mass Raksha Bandhan festival in Bengal 1905. So Rabindranath Tagore started a mass Raksha Bandhan festival in Bengal 1905, in which he encouraged Hindu and Muslim women to tie a Rakhi on men from the other community and make them their brothers. For example, if you are treating, you are saying as Hindu Muslim, but if, for example, the Muslim female for tying the Rakhi in Hindu male means so we both brothers and sisters. So Rabindranath Tagore arranged mass Raksha Bandhan festival. So the exercise was designed to counter British effort to create a divide between Hindus and Muslims. Why this Raksha Bandhan mass Raksha Bandhan started by Rabindranath Tagore means the British tried to divide the Hindu and Muslims. So that Rabindranath Tagore arranged this mass Raksha Bandhan. Next, contribution of Paulas to culture. So contributions of Paulas to culture. So the Paulas were Mahayana school of Buddhism. So the Paulas supported the Mahayana schools of Buddhism. The Buddhism school is Mahayana school. So the Paulas were Mahayana school of Buddhism. So they were generous patrons of Buddhist temple and the famous universities Nalanda and Vikramshila. Okay, so they were generous means they supported the Buddhist temple and the famous university of Nalanda and Vikramshila. So under Paula patronage means support. So under the Paula support, the distinctive school, the art arose called Paula art or Eastern Indian art. Okay, with the help of Paula patronage, Paula support, the school or art, it is called as Paula art or Eastern Indian art. And the Paula bronze sculptures played an important part in the spread of Indian culture in Southeast Asia. So Paula bronze sculpture means idol. Okay, so the Paula bronze sculptures played an important part. It is spread in our Indian culture in Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia. So next we are going to see about advent of Islam. So when Islam came to India. So Islam as a religious faith originated at Mecca in Arabia. So where this Islam was originated means Mecca in Arabia. So Arabia, one of the places in Mecca, this Islam was originated. So the founder of Islam was Prophet Muhammad. Okay, who is the founder of Islam? Prophet Muhammad. So the follower of Islam are called as Muslim. So who is the follower of Islam? They called as Muslims. Next, Arab conquest of Sindh and its impact. Okay, Arab is one of the Muslim countries. So this Arab conquest means battle of Sindh and its impact. So what is the problem and its impact? So in AD 712, Muhammad bin Qasim was the commander of Umayyad kingdom. Okay, in 712, Muhammad bin Qasim. So he is the commander of Umayyad kingdom. Invaded Sindh. He attacked the Sindh. So Qasim defeated Tagir. So who is the ruler of Sindh? In that time, who is the ruler of Sindh means Tagir. So who attacked the Sindh? Muhammad bin Qasim. He is the commander of Umayyad kingdom. Okay, so Qasim defeated Dagir. So Dagir is a ruler of Sindh. So the ruler of Sindh and killed him in the battle. So Muhammad bin Qasim killed the Dagir in the battle. So the capital of Sindh, Aror, was captured. Okay, during the battle, the capital of Sindh, Aror, was captured by Muhammad bin Qasim. So Muhammad bin Qasim extended his conquest further into Multan. From Sindh, he extended the conquest into Multan. So he organized an administration of Sindh. After he captured Sindh, he organized an administration of Sindh. So the people of Sindh, what is Sindh? Sindh means one of the places in India. So the people of Sindh were given the status of protected subject. So the Muhammad bin Qasim given the status of the Sindh people protected subject. Okay, so they are very protection person, safety people. So given the status of protected subject, safety people. So there was no interference in the laws and religion of the Muslim. So if you see, Arab is a Muslim country, but the Sindh is a Hindu country, but who captured Sindh? Arab. But there is no any interference in the laws and religion of the people. But soon Qasim was recalled by the Caliph. Caliph means head of the Muslim. Okay, so soon the Qasim was recalled by the Caliph. So the Arab scholar, what is called scholar? So one place to another place, if you are writing anything means is called as biographers. So they called as scholar. So the Arab scholar visited Sindh and studied many Indian literary works. Okay, so the Arab scholar they visited Sindh, the arrival of Sindh, and they studied many Indian literary works. Literary means education works. So they translated many Sanskrit books in on astronomy, philosophy, mathematics, and medicine into Arabic. So our Sanskrit book like astronomy, philosophy, mathematics, and medicine. So this everything this Arab scholar translated into Arabic. So they learned numeral number of 0 to 9 from India. Okay, so the Arab country, they learned numeral number 0 to 9 from India. So until then, the people in the West did not know the use of 0. So West means, so which country is West? European country is West. So until then, the people in the West, that means European countries, they don't know value of the 0. So through the Arab, Europe gained more knowledge in mathematics. Okay, so before the arrival of the Arab, the European countries also they don't know the value of 0. But after arrival of the Arab, European also they learned more knowledge in mathematics. So the importance of 0 was learned by them from India. Okay, so the Arab, the European, so every country they learned importance of 0 was learned by from India. So it is believed that the people in the West and the Arab learned game of chess only from the Indians. So West means European country only is called as West. Our India is called as East. Okay, so this European countries and Arab, both countries also, we believed they all learned chess from India. So where they learned chess means from India. It is believed that the people in the West, so West means European countries only is called as West, and the Arabs learned the game of chess only from the Indians. So West countries, that mean European countries and Arabs, both countries also they learned chess from India. Okay, so chess is originated from India. Next we are going to see the recap. So the Rajputs were great builders. So we can see the more example of architecture like temple at Vasayan, then Khajuraho temple, Dilwara Jain temple. So this is all example for Rajput architecture. And Khajuraho in Bandelkhand has 30 temples. So Bandelkhand is one of the places. In that places, Khajuraho is a campus. Inside the campus has 30 temples. And Islam as a religious faith originated at Mecca in Arabia. So where the Islam was originated means from Mecca in Arabia. And the founder of Islam was Prophet Muhammad, and the follower of Islam they called as Muslims. The Arab scholar visited Sindh and studied many Indian literary work. Okay, so like astronomy, philosophy, mathematics, medicine. So this all studied by Arab scholars. Next, answer the following. So your question is explain about contributions of Rajput architecture. Explain about contributions of Rajput architecture. The next one is write a note on contributions of Palas to culture. Write a note on contributions of. So next we are going to see about current affairs. So who is the Ministry of External Affairs? Mr. S. Jaishankar. So who is the Ministry of External Affairs? Mr. S. Jaishankar. So he is the responsibility for our Indian border. Okay, he is the responsibility for our Indian border. So only he is the external affairs. Okay, so he is the Ministry of External Affairs, Mr. S. Jaishankar. I hope you understood this session very well. So this lesson will be continued in the next video. Thank you, children.